from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Thursday, December 17th, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. Hazleton Mayor Joe Yanuzzi announced today that the city has come to an agreement on the final amount owed in the IIRA case. The court awarded a total of $1,426,684 to the plaintiffs. They did, however, decide to accept the final offer of $1,319,250. The amount is to be paid in full at the time of closing on December 23rd of 2015. The mayor thanked the plaintiffs for their willingness to listen to the city's situation and condition. He is also pleased that the refinancing of the Redevelopment Authority loan was successful. There will not be any added cost to the 2016 budget, and there will be no increase in debt payment amounts. The mayor also stated that after 10 years of court battles, we can now have closure. 3 bomb scares in 3 regional schools in 3 days. Jim Thorpe, Lehighton, and Panther Valley. Panther Valley High School in Summit Hill was the latest, following the other 2 earlier this week. All were cleared, all were searched, and nothing was found. The supposed threats were found written on bathroom walls. Carbon County EMA Director Mark Nunlesnick said it's not unusual this close to Christmas break. Police say all 3 are under investigation. Officials believe they could be copycats, and they believe they're simply student pranks. But Nunlesnick says that it calls for a serious issue and says whoever is responsible will face criminal charges. A Hazel Township businessman was acquitted of misdemeanor charges of indecent assault. 60-year-old Joseph Kress, the owner of Harry's U Pullet, walked out of the Luzerne County Courthouse free of those charges. Kress had been accused of sticking his hand up the dress of a cocktail waitress at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Kress denied the incident from the witness stand. As the verdict was read, Kress's accuser broke down sobbing. She left the courthouse in tears. During their deliberations, jurors asked to review surveillance video from the casino more than once. After his acquittal Wednesday, Luzerne County Judge Michael Vo found him not guilty of a summary harassment offense over the same incident. A settlement was approved yesterday for the victims in the Kids for Cash scandal. U.S. District Judge A. Richard Caputo made the final approval for a $4.75 million settlement between Robert Powell and the juveniles who were sent to his detention center. Powell admitted to bribing former judges Mark Chivarella and Michael Conahan, who previously settled with the plaintiffs. The victims will be awarded points to determine how much money they can collect. Juveniles sent to the detention centers qualify for 5 points. Those incarcerated but not sent to the detention center will get 2 points, and victims sentenced to probation will receive 1 point. The proposed payout calls for a rate of $36 per point. Of that $4.75 million, the juveniles will also collect 70% of the total amounts after court costs. The ruling affects over 1,000 minors who were involved in that scandal. Hazleton Mayor-elect Jeff Cassatt spent Wednesday in Paterson, New Jersey. He was invited by Mayor Jose Joey Torres to sit on a cabinet reorganization meeting. Cassatt said he's taken several ideas from the meetings, which he intends to put into operation here. Paterson Police Commissioner Jerry Spezialy participated in Hazleton's physical agility civil service police testing. That's led to speculation that he'll be Cassatt's police chief, a rumor both say are untrue. Spezialy says he remains committed to Paterson but hasn't ruled out working in a consultant or on a per diem basis in Hazleton. The longtime Schuylkill County Treasurer presented her last treasurer's report yesterday to the county commissioners. WYLN's Gary Perna has the story.
Jackie McGovern has been the treasurer for Schuylkill County since 1995. She has been responsible for the county's funds and the day-to-day money operation. Now, 20 years later, she's leaving the office at the end of the year.
Well, I've been here for 20 years and I'm retiring this year. So this is my last month, and I just presented the last treasurer's report, and so it was a milestone.
McGovern said the job has been phenomenal for her, and she's going to miss it.
Well, it's been a wonderful experience, and I'm going to miss everybody, but there comes a time in everybody's life when this happens, you have to retire or you want to retire and take advantage of some free time and just me time.
She is now looking forward to spending time with her grandchildren and her friends. But is there one moment that sticks out in her memory over the past 20 years from being Schuylkill County's treasurer?
I guess my first swearing in when I came into the office, and the girls were here, most of the girls that are here now, and they greeted me with flowers, and it was just beautiful, and they worked with me every step of the way ever since. So we've had a great relationship. I've been lucky to have a great staff, and we accomplished a lot in my time here.
McGovern's last day on the job will be December 31st.
Thank you, Gary. Time now for a first look at our forecast. A rainy and dreary day here in northeastern Pennsylvania, but will the sun shine through this weekend? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik's in the Weather Center with the details. Joe, what can you tell us?
Well, it looks like it's going to get much nicer across our area as we head into this upcoming weekend. But before that, we have to deal with the rain that moved through our area. Still some lingering rain as you head toward parts of the state of Pennsylvania. But out toward the west, notice things starting to dry out quite nicely. But we had some of that rain that came down heavy at times. Now we're seeing a little bit of a break in the rain. Still a little bit some showery activity as you head out toward the central part of Pennsylvania. Notice these temperatures over the past 24 hours, generally 40s to lower 50s. Not bad for this time of year. Temperatures still remaining in the 40s to near 50 degrees. We'll have the complete 7-day forecast coming up in a few.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, the Hazleton Police Department promoted 4 of their own. We'll have the complete details on this morning's ceremony. Plus, we'll hear from Chicago Cubs manager Joe Madden about his trip home to Hazleton and his Thanksmas dinner this weekend. That and much more coming up here on WYLN. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, Weather with meteorologist Joe Garbachik, Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin.
Hi, I'm Paul Esposito from Victoria's Candies. Welcome to our new location at the Gateway Shopping Center in Edwardsville.
Our new location is loaded for the holidays with fresh fudge being made daily. You'll enjoy the taste and smells, but especially the price, because now through Christmas, all fudge is just $7.95 a pound. Our delicious homemade fudge is regularly $9.99 a pound, now on sale for just $7.95 a pound. Victoria's Candies, a holiday tradition since 1934.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazleton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
A special ceremony inside City Hall today as 4 officers were promoted. WYLN was there, and tonight we have the story. It certainly was a special day for 4 police officers within the Hazleton Police Department. As their family and friends looked on, the officers were promoted during a swearing-in ceremony by Hazleton's Police Chief Frank DeAndrea and Mayor Joe Iannuzzi. Patrolman Angelo M. Godola Jr. was promoted to detective. Patrol Corporal William J. Gallagher was promoted to Detective Sergeant. Detective Corporal Anthony R. White was promoted to Detective Sergeant. And Patrolman Mario L. Howie was promoted to Patrol Corporal.
Today, the 4 men that were promoted and appointed are the cream of the crop. However, the crop is extremely good here in the Hazleton Police Department. These men have tested both written and oral, and they have received the highest scores, and then they were evaluated by the entire command staff and again received the highest scores. Every one of them was number 1 and number 2 on the sergeant's list, number 1 on the corporal's list, and number 1 on the detective narcotics list.
Chief DeAndrea says the department strives for career progression and adds that it is crucial in the success and the morale of the men and women in the department.
The men and women of the police department have few things to work towards in their career once they're hired. One of the things that they work towards is either an appointment to a specialty position, such as a task force or a detective, and or they work for being promoted, civil service promotion, to the rank of corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and or possibly appointed by the mayor chief.
Mayor Joe Iannuzzi said today was an important day for these men and the department as a whole to see them reach their goals.
It means a lot to the city as far as having rank and structure in the police department. We've created this over the last few years. I'm very proud of the police department as it is today for the amount of men we have in the force and for the amount of work we do. They do an outstanding job, and every one of them deserve the promotions that they've gotten.
The chief said today the officers were grateful, but added that it was all their hard work that got them to where they are today.
The officers are extremely humble, which is part of what makes them who they are. They smile, they say thank you, and I tell them not to thank me because they've earned this. And they truly have, and this is one of the proudest moments a chief of police can have, to promote his officers for their phenomenal efforts and great work.
Today's promotions took effect this morning, and the officers will begin their new jobs in their new positions once the new members are in field training and once several of the officers who are out on military and sick leave can return back to patrol in full duty, so it's not to cripple the patrol unit. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Plus, we'll hear from Hazelton's very own Joe Madden on this weekend's Thanksmas dinner. Stay tuned, more news is headed your way, including sports, only on WYLN.
Hi, I'm Pastor Carolyn Hetrick from Christ Lutheran Church in Cunningham, Pennsylvania, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
You've lived with it for too long. That recurring joint or muscle pain that makes everyday tasks a strain and repetitive movement almost impossible. Why put it off? The sooner you seek treatment, the more options you'll have. The faster you'll be back in full stride. The latest non-surgical solutions. The region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
The holidays are on the way. If you don't have time to bake it, let Carmen's make it. Carmen's Bakery and Deli has everything you need for holiday gatherings. Everything is made fresh and on the premises with the best quality ingredients. From their famous nut and poppy rolls to their homemade breads, pastries, and pies. Carmen's has everything you need for your holiday table. Pumpkin pies and pumpkin rolls are ready to go and will make your holiday meal complete. Made to order specialty cakes, cookies, and deli trays too. Catering is also available. Carmen's will do all the work for you. Call and order early. Happy holidays from Carmen's.
Everything worthwhile is worth waiting for. A very old saying that Angelo and his wife Anna live by. At Angelo's Italian House, they prepare the tastiest of dinners and lunches on the premises. Everything lovingly made from scratch with the tastiest ingredients. Serve 4:30 to closing Tuesday to Saturday and all day Sunday. Call now, 454-9364, to book your parties, business meetings, or any other occasion. Or just stop in for a good homemade lunch. Angelo's Italian House, 695 Alter Street in Hazelton. Buonissimo.
We had the rain moving in today. The good news is it was on a mild side across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now we have some areas of fog to contend with across our region also. Got some colder weather to talk about, but as quick as it turns cold, it's going to get relatively mild as we head into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. On to the graphic for today, and We had that rain moving in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Some of it was actually heavy at times across our area. But again, this time of year, temperatures were above average, so this was all rain across our region. Live 35 Skycast Doppler. Notice not much showing up across our immediate viewing area. Just some sprinkles, a little bit some drizzle, some areas of fog. Again, that's too light to be depicted on radar. As you head further out toward the west by Williamsport and out by Lycoming County, another leading edge of some showers that are overspreading those particular areas. Our live Lehigh tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, 47 degrees, and we picked up now 1/4 of an inch of rain since the midnight hour. Still mild across our area. 52 Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 47 in Mount Pocono, 50 in Williamsport, 46 in State College, and 40 degrees in Erie. Up in the Wyoming Valley area, temperatures generally holding in the lower 50s. Here's a look at our radar statewide. You had that rain coming through. Some of it was heavy at times, still lingering showers as you head out toward the central part of the state. But that pretty much is about it. Looking at the numbers as we head through tonight, again, dropping down into the mid to upper 30s, lower 40s. And then look at the difference as we start going into our Saturday morning. It's going to be cold out there. Temperatures are actually only going to be in the mid to upper 20s. That's an indication of the colder air on the move. That's going to be getting here as we head into this upcoming weekend. As the front comes through, colder air starts moving through with it as we go tomorrow, as we go into Saturday, as we go into Sunday as well. However, as we start going into later next week, especially Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, a ridge starts building. That brings in some unseasonably warm air across our area with temperatures well above where we should be for this time of year. So if you want a white Christmas, here's the likelihood of it. Got to go out this part of the USA to have a better chance, the best chance of seeing a white Christmas. For our area, doesn't look like it's going to be likely. In fact, we're going to be looking at temperatures, the potential of temperatures getting up into the 50s, so well above where we should be for this time of year. Extended forecast looking like this. We got about 35 degrees as we head into tomorrow, and we're going to continue to be in the 30s as we head into this entire weekend. But then notice as we go into next week, there's going to be a chance of some showers by the middle part and ending part of the week, but those temperatures will be up into the 50s. Our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers: a pick 226, a pick 3 484, and a pick 4 5279. The pick 5 numbers looking like this: 86412, and a treasure hunt number 68, 14, 15, and 16. Stick around. We'll have a lot more for you coming up after these commercial messages.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
Get the entire story when it's convenient for you, and get it from WILN News. 2 daily newscasts from your #1 source for local news. WILN's Evening Edition, news at 5:30, and WILN's Late Edition, news at 10. More than just headlines. It's the whole story. In-depth reporting on hot topics and more. Plus the area's most accurate weather report from the WILN Weather Center. More news, weather, and sports twice a day. Only on WILN, we're your local network.
Today, we had the opportunity to speak with Chicago Cubs manager Joe Maddon about all the events happening this weekend and especially his Thanksmas dinner on Sunday. I am now joined by Joe Maddon, the manager of the Chicago Cubs and Hazleton native. Welcome back to Hazleton. That's the first thing I want to say. It's good to be back.
Always great to be back. We got in, getting my days confused. I think it was Monday night we got back in. We had our clinic yesterday. We held our clinic here at the center. Outstanding for the first time around. We got the big fireside chat tonight. A bunch of other things over the next couple days. Been having some really good food up at third base. It's always spectacular to be home.
Coming back home and being able to do what you do for the Hazleton area, after years of seeing how this has progressed from the first Thanksmas meal, what does that mean to you just to come back and to see it?
Well, I really enjoy it. I mean, obviously, it's gratifying to see the progress. I'll tell you one thing, just driving in from Jim Thorpe over the mountain and coming in down and seeing Broad Street, much better look. I mean, you're driving in, we got in late at night, so the Christmas lights were on full display. The street itself looks wonderful. The sidewalks look great. It just has a different heartbeat to it than it did a couple of years ago. It's pretty much on life support. I think we're doing a lot better right now over the last 3 or 4 years. So your first impression of Hazleton when you drive in from that neck of the woods, from that side, is so much better. I mean, I had lived here, but if you're a stranger coming into our town, you want to make a good first impression, so it is. Beyond that, I haven't really had a chance to visit with a whole lot of people in the city outside of doing our events, but from what I understand, it's getting better. I know this center is definitely getting better. Just the building itself, the capital improvements we've done here, from the help of whether it's the state of Pennsylvania or the Ripken Foundation and our other partners, it's pretty spectacular, actually. So a lot of progress is being made. There's a lot more to get done. I'm a guy that never has gotten complacent in my life, and we will never do that here either. We want to become a model for the rest of the country on how to do this.
And now this weekend you have a lot of events happening, and especially you have Thanksmas, which is really important, not only to you, but to the community as a whole, to give back to the community, and that's something you've always done.
Yeah, we started that in Tampa Bay, 2007, I believe. Cliff Notes, we did it, my thought was the thought of helping the homeless, particularly down there. The weather's warmer, or there's more people on the street. I was always upset when I had seen people that were dragging their whole life around in a shopping cart. So we did it down there. It's grown in the Tampa Bay area. We've already done it this year down there. We had a Thanksmas at a shelter in Clearwater. We had a Thanksmas event at our restaurant down there to raise money. We're going to do it up here, obviously, to help the needy. I don't know that there's really necessarily any homeless people here because of the weather. I'm not sure that all works, the dynamic up here. But I do know kids are in need. I know single moms are in need. And again, people understand one thing. It's not just about a lazy dude that doesn't want to work. I think that's the stereotype that too many of us attach to this situation where people have become homeless. It's a variety of different reasons. It could be mental illness. It could be somebody that fought in a war so that we can be standing here safely to have these kind of events. There's a variety of different reasons. So the person that tends to be on the narrow-minded side, really open your mind just a little bit, do a little bit more research and understand what this is all about. This is our attempt to show people that we recognize you. You're not invisible. We do care. We understand that it might be tough. And again, it's a drop in the bucket. My God, it's a drop in the bucket. But hopefully it might motivate somebody else to want to do it. Final point, and I'll shut up, is the fact that understand that people that volunteer to do this every day.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the
Thanks
time
for having
to
us
speak
on. I
with
appreciate
us.
it. Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Michael Lula, news videographer and sports videographer for WILN. I'd like to wish everyone out there a very Merry Christmas and enjoy the holidays. And now, from a friend of mine, Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night.
The Victoria story's a glorious story, the sweetest that's ever been told. They found they were handy at making fine candy for family and friends to behold. Word spread through the land that Victoria's candies would one day be leading the rest. Now that day is here, for the facts are quite clear that Victoria's candies are best.
Join us this season for holiday programming on WILN, featuring the Chef Lou Christmas, holiday traditions, holiday baking with Jen Yamola, the sounds of the season, from Saint to Claus, Hometown Holiday, the Your Life Christmas Special, Can Do Christmas, Polka Connection Christmas, and the Service Electric Wilkes-Barre Christmas Parade. Check out our website at WILNTV.com for dates and times. WILN, your home for the holidays station.
The shoes to fill may not be big, literally, but figuratively, Frank Sheptock with huge shoes to fill in replacing the legendary George Curry as head coach of Berwick football. Last night, the school's athletic director Sheptock was hired to replace the winningest coach in Pennsylvania high school football history. Sheptock previously spent 18 seasons as the head coach at Wilkes University, leaving that post in 2013 to take over as the AD at Berwick, after compiling a 107-81 career record with the Colonels. The Bulldogs went 9-3 and reached the district final under Curry in 2015. Joe Madden is back in Hazleton, again with Manager of the Year attached to his name. And after receiving the highest individual honor for a coach, why not share some of that baseball knowledge? Wednesday at the Hip Center, Madden offered a coach's clinic for the first time, featuring experts that spread their insight.
The information, the kind of stuff that folks could hear tonight, you can't really just get anywhere, and you're not going to get in a book necessarily. I promise you, we'll say some things, but a big part of it for me too is like answering questions, because I hope that the coaches come with some questions in their back pocket too. Baseball 101 works if you're able to know the basic fundamentals and have your players understand it and repeat them daily. You have a chance to win, a good chance to win.
WILN will have much more coverage of Madden's visit throughout the week. Yesterday, new Penn State offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead was introduced to the media. The former Fordham head coach explains what to expect from his offense, and Nittany Lions head coach James Franklin describes what he was looking for to fulfill the position.
I mean, we have a base, offensive system or structure that we believe in, and ultimately when it comes down to offensive football, it's about putting points on the board, and specifically one more than the defense allows. But we really want the trademarks of our offense. We want to, dictate the tempo. We want to be aggressive. We want to be attacking. We want to be physical in the run game and create explosive plays in the pass game.
The fact that Coach is from Western PA, the fact that Coach is from Pittsburgh Central Catholic, I think those things help. He's got a lot of connections and networks in the area. The fact that he's been a head coach from a leadership perspective was I think important, and the fact that he's had a big impact on a program overall. And then at the end of the day, you take all those guys on your list and you run all the data.
Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbacic is in with a final look at the forecast.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer, dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, an outside grill, and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Join us this week for a very special Christmas edition of Let's Talk Chiropractic. We've got some family friends and a very, very special guest. It's all coming up this week. It's Let's Talk Chiropractic with Santa. Join us.
All right, taking a look at our Live 35 Skycast Doppler. Statewide, you can see still a few lingering showers as you head toward north central Pennsylvania, but across the northeast now, just some drizzle, a little bit of some mist in the air, but that pretty much is about it. And these temperatures continue to be well above where we should be for this time of year. We're looking at upper 40s, lower 50s across our area. We're going to see a little bit of a cool down. In fact, it's going to get cold this upcoming weekend, but then after that, we're going to be bringing in some milder temperatures as we head into Christmas Eve and as we head into Christmas Day. Temperatures are going to continue to be well above where we should be for this time of year. We're also going to be dealing with a chance of some showers and some rain in our forecast. Here's a look at the extended forecast and what we can expect over the next couple of days. We're going to be bringing in some weather we haven't seen for a while, at least, some cold temperatures. Kind of like where temperatures should be for this time of year, right as we head into this upcoming weekend, and early next week we're back up into the 40s, and then by Wednesday and Thursday, that's when we're back up into the 50s, but unfortunately we're going to have to deal with some wet weather. We're looking at the chance of some showers in our forecast, but at least you don't have to worry about any type of snow, so anybody traveling and things looking pretty good.
But the temperature is still December.
Can't decide what it wants to do. It's been mild and then a little bit of cold weather now this upcoming weekend. And then next week it's going to get milder again.
All right. Well, speaking of this upcoming weekend, there is a lot of Joe Madden events happening. So make sure you want to take part in it. If you want to stop by and see what's going on, that's going to be important, of course. And like we said, our Eric DeBardinas will have full coverage of the entire weekend that is happening with Joe Madden, and that'll be as soon as we'll hear from him on Monday.
Absolutely.
And then when he puts the whole show together, so it'll be a half-hour show. It's pretty exciting, and of course we can't wait to see it, and we want to thank Joe for all the time he's taken to talk to us.
That's right.
Throughout his visit here to Hazleton. Have a good one, everyone.